We all make mistakes in life. It's how we learn and grow. But sometimes, the mistakes we make are so bad that they can't be fixed. In these cases, it's important to know when to let go and move on. Some mistakes are easier to fix than others. If you do something that is morally wrong, then it may be easier to forgive yourself because you know you didn't mean it and you regret your actions. On the other hand, if you made a mistake in your career or relationships, then it may take more time to recover from that mistake because there are no easy fixes for those problems. The first step is figuring out what went wrong and why it happened. Once you understand what caused the problem, then the next step is figuring out how to fix it if possible or moving on if not possible. This video is about the 10 mistakes people make in life. The author talks about how these mistakes are not a complete waste of time and they can teach us lessons that we can use to improve our lives. Number 1, not taking care of your physical health. This is a very common mistake that people make in their lives. It's not just about being lazy or not having enough time to take care of themselves. It's also about the fact that people think they can't change their lifestyle. However, this is a big mistake and one that we should all avoid. We are only given one life, and it is important to do everything we can to make sure it is as healthy as possible. Number 2, focusing on material possessions instead of relationships. In the book Mistakes Were Made But Not By Me, author Carol Tavris talks about the ways in which people deny responsibility for their mistakes. She argues that we are all prone to this behavior, but it is not necessary or beneficial. In today's society, it seems like people are more focused on material possessions than on relationships. The problem with this is that they are forgetting the importance of love and connection in their lives. Number 3, settling for less than you deserve. What does settling for less than you deserve mean? Settling for less than you deserve is about living a life that is not fulfilling. It's about settling for less in your relationships, career, or other aspects of life. It's a decision to live with regret and disappointment instead of the life you know you're meant to be living. If this sounds like something that may be happening in your life, then it's time to change course. We all make mistakes and have regrets in our lives, but we can always make better choices and do what we need to do to get back on track. It starts with recognizing the problem and its effects on your life. Once you recognize what needs to change, it becomes easier to take action because you know where you want to go instead of being lost in regret and disappointment. Number 4, being afraid to take risks and live your dreams. There are many people who have dreams and goals for their lives, but they never take the first step to make them come true. It is important to remember that you will never know what your life would be like if you don't take a risk. The fear of making mistakes can often hold us back from living our dreams and being happy in life. But it's important to remember that everyone makes mistakes, and it's how we learn and grow. We all make mistakes in our lives, and we have to learn from them. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you have learned enough from your mistakes, and you are now ready to take risks. The fear of making mistakes should not be an excuse for not taking risks and living your dreams. You will never know what the outcome will be if you don't take the risk. Number 5, ignoring your intuition. We are all prone to mistakes, but what if we could minimize them? What if we knew when to say no and not be afraid of the consequences? That is where intuition comes in. Intuition is a feeling or belief that you have about something which cannot be explained logically. It can save you from making the wrong decisions, and it can help you make better ones. It can also keep you in check with your emotions, which is something that many of us need help with. Intuition has been proven to work for some people and not for others. There are many cases where people ignored their intuition and ended up regretting it later on. Number 6, making excuses for other people's behavior. Making excuses for other people's behavior is not a good idea. You are only setting yourself up for more trouble. It is better to take responsibility and apologize to the person you have wronged instead of making excuses. People often make excuses because they don't want to admit that they were wrong or made a mistake. They are afraid of the consequences of their actions and they want to avoid conflict at all costs. But this type of thinking will only lead them to more problems in the future, as it will become a habit that can't be broken. Number 7, believing that you're not good enough, smart enough, or pretty enough. It's not easy to live with this feeling. It's like a voice that won't stop telling you that you're not good enough. The feeling of not being good enough is one of the most common feelings in people's lives. We all have moments where we feel less confident or even completely inadequate. What is important is that you know what it feels like and how to deal with it. You can learn to recognize the feeling and then find ways to make yourself feel better, such as through self-compassion or other coping mechanisms. The more you practice these skills, the better they will work when you need them most. Number 8. Letting fear stop you from reaching for your goals. Fear is a natural human emotion that is meant to keep us safe. But sometimes it can also stop us from reaching for our goals and achieving our dreams. In order to overcome fear, you need to understand what it is that scares you the most. For example, if you are afraid of getting hurt in the future, then maybe you should think about how much pain you have been through in your life already. Or if failure scares you, then maybe instead of thinking about how bad failing will be for your life and career, think about how good it will feel when you succeed. Number 9. Comparing yourself to others instead of focusing on what makes you unique and special. The best way to stop comparing yourself to others is to focus on what makes you unique and special. You should be proud of your achievements and not feel ashamed of your mistakes in life. Humans are naturally competitive creatures. We always want to be the best, have the most, and do the most. It's only natural that we compare ourselves to others in order to see how we stack up. But this can lead us down a negative path where we start seeing our mistakes as failures and our successes as luck or given opportunities instead of hard work. We can avoid this pitfall by focusing on what makes us unique and special, both in our lives and in the world around us. We should be proud of our achievements, always striving for more success, but never forgetting that we are human beings with flaws just like everyone else. We all make mistakes. It's a part of life. But the mistake doesn't define you. It's how you react to the mistake that defines you. Mistakes in your life are an opportunity for growth and improvement. They teach us lessons that we wouldn't have learned any other way. Mistakes are not always bad things. They can be blessings in disguise if we learn from them and grow from them. It can be easy to compare yourself to others, but it is important to remember that everyone has their own set of challenges and their own set of strengths. Everyone has their own story, so don't judge people based on what they look like or what they have accomplished, because everyone is fighting a different battle in life. Number 10. Marry a wrong person. The fear of marrying the wrong person is a common fear that most people have. But it is not just the fear of marrying someone who you don't love or don't want to spend your life with. There are many other mistakes that you can make in your life, from getting married too early to someone who isn't right for you, or not knowing what your true desires are. It is not always easy to know whether or not you should marry someone, but there are some ways that could help you figure out if this person is the one for you. It's not too late to fix your mistakes. The earlier you take action, the better. Mistakes are a part of life, and that is why it is important to learn from them. In this section, we will talk about some common mistakes people make in their lives and how they can be prevented.